Look, man, I really hate to be the guy that
Okay,
comes and takes
let's
a
see.
dump on everybody's pity party, and I'm fully aware that talking about Nvidia is the popular thing to do, but I really got to say some stuff about the AI that people are complaining about with Nvidia. First up, I want to show you a few articles that I am going to be speaking of throughout this video. The first one is this right here. Can Nvidia's RTX 5070 really deliver RTX 4090 performance for
No, it does not.
$549? AMD says that FSR 4 might not be an RDNA 4 exclusive after all. Do
Holy hell,
Nvidia's
that's a good
GeForce
news.
RTX 50 series specs live up to the hype? And then this is a Reddit post, which you already know that's going to be a bunch of negative Nancy comments. And look, man, I really am being serious, okay? This right here, let's start it out with this
Okay.
DLSS benchmarks. Let me ask you a question. What is the difference between NVIDIA doing this? And really quickly, I want to say something to all the people that are about to consider me an NVIDIA fanboy.
Yeah.
I prefer raw performance as well. I love AMD. I like what AMD is doing. But if DLSS is such a big problem, why is everybody so goddamn excited for FSR 4?
Because the fucking DLSS isn't the issue people are having, okay? Okay, so if you aren't up to speed, people are having an issue with Nvidia because they are using uh, FrameGen to basically market their new GPUs. So how this basically works is like every time the GPU with their 5000 series makes, if I recall, it's one frame. Every time the GPU makes one frame, there's going to be 3 fake frames made by the AI fucking system that they have. The fucking frame generation. And that's why people are pissed. Why people aren't pissed about the AMD one is because it isn't like frame gen. It's just like higher quality FSR that people are waiting for, you know? That's why AMD isn't getting hate. That's why Nvidia is getting hate. It's like super simple. People don't want to like have the performance numbers basically based on fucking frame generation. Because that's bullshit.
Why is everybody so hyped up about that? Why is everybody talking about FSR and why they're so excited for FSR to be on par with DLSS? Why is DLSS an issue but FSR is not?
DLSS isn't the
Anybody else
issue.
hear those crickets? Also, let me ask you another
It's the frame
question.
gen, my guy.
Okay, are you ready for this? We have a Tesla Model S Plaid over here, electric. Okay, this is an
Okay.
electric car over here. We're gonna consider this AI, and then we have, which is $125,000. Then we have the twin turbo Lamborghini Huracan over here
Alright.
for $550,000.
Yeah.
$550,000, $125,000. This Tesla Model S Plaid literally goes just as fast. As a matter of fact, it is faster at the takeoff than a twin turbo Lamborghini Huracan. I'm not saying, oh, hey, your Tesla is going to give you the exact same experience and be just as fun as the twin turbo Lamborghini Huracan. That is not what we're talking about. We are talking about Tesla. Is it as fast? Does it perform? Does it do what it is supposed to do in comparison to the twin turbo Lamborghini Huracan, which literally cost 5 times the amount? Listen, fully aware RTX 4090
That's
owners that are really upset that they paid $2,000 for a graphics card that has a $500 option that will perform just as good. We're not
this
talking about
motherfucker.
that. I'm really
The fucking okay.
struggling to.
Yeah. The 5070. The RTX 5070. It's not going to perform the same as 4090 without the frame generation. Okay, it's going to need fake frames to compete with the 4090 without frame generation being used. You are comparing fucking apples and oranges at this point. It's completely different thing. And like especially with all the like input lag that comes with frame generation. Like, is it? You cannot compare it. This is not how it works. Linus showed frame gen performance on new cards, and if you don't know what to look for, it looks great. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't look great. I'm saying there's a input latency increase, which means it's going to be unusable for competitive games. It's not real frames. It's AI generated shit. The AI is literally guessing like what's the next frame, you know? It's like it sees the 2 frames that your GPU has generated and then fills the gap with 3 fake frames in between. It's not real frame rate. It makes the input lag worse when real frame rate makes it like with the real frame rate. If the frame rate is higher, your input latency is lower. You know, with generated frames, it gets worse. And community guys have way lower requirements, so no one would ever use the frame gen for them. And seeing single competitive game which even has frame gen. Marvel Rivals has the frame gen, for example. And I would say, since it has it's a competitive title, you might not agree, but I would say this. And the other thing is like, if we are talking about like overall how he is like going with this, like, if you're a RTX 4090 owner, you're going to be pissed because the 5070 is going to be as powerful. No, it's not. It's only going to be in the same FPS numbers if the game supports the frame gen. Heads up, most of the games don't support the frame gen. There's actually barely any games that support it. Like, it's fucking wild comparison. It's like, it's not accurate to compare these things, you know?
To wrap my head around all of the complaints. So this right here, can Nvidia's RTX 5070 really deliver RTX 4090 performance? So
No,
this
it cannot.
is what I have had scripted out here. We got the Nvidia RTX 50 series graphics cards that has sparked considerable discussion and criticism within the tech community. This right here, performance claims with DLSS 4 dependence. We already went over this, and I already explained my stance on this situation. If DLSS 4 is such a big goddamn problem, why is nobody complaining about FSR? And I'm being serious.
Because
you don't
you're
even need me to say anything
completely
about
misunderstanding the whole thing.
Every single big YouTuber, all the podcasts on tech that I listen to, okay, I have like 3 of them in mind right now, and I don't want to be disrespectful towards anybody and pretend to be like I'm better than them, because I'm not. Listen, I'm not like the smartest person in this area, but I do have a pretty decent amount of common sense, which seems to be lacking in people's brain nowadays.
I'm not smarter than any other people, or other people, but I have common sense that other people seem to be lacking. Alright, my guy.
And the FSR is the perfect example. If people are complaining about DLSS, why are they all praising FSR and super excited for FSR and just can't wait for AMD to be able to compete with NVIDIA's DLSS? Listen, fully aware that NVIDIA has a monopoly, but do you really think AMD's FSR and them improving FSR is going to defeat NVIDIA's monopoly that they have? Dude, NVIDIA is going to to be releasing a CPU.
The competition is healthy though.
For laptops and stuff. This is
it's good thing.
I'm gonna have to YouTube it. Hold on. Tech Linked, I'm pretty sure is the channel. I like watching tech because they're actually entertaining. Yeah, this right here. So,
oh god,
this is the video that I watched the other day. this is an Nvidia CPU because they're actually entertaining. I can't watch the boring channels, and the boring channels are the ones that I listen to when I go on them. The first thing
The
I do in the
boring
morning is
channels,
I
so
go
the
for a
ones with
1 hour
like
walk,
actual
and
like tech
then the
information.
last thing I
Okay.
do throughout my day is I go for a 1 hour walk, and I listen to podcasts on my. I don't listen to music. Your boy's pretty lame. I don't. I don't know. I guess I'm just
Yeah.
lame like that. But you know who these podcasters are. There's so very few podcasters, and I'm just trying to be respectful, and I'm not trying to name drop people. I'm just gonna say this right now, okay? Because I have used DLSS before. I'm just being honest with this. I cannot tell a difference with DLSS. I'm talking about how it feels with latency. I cannot feel a difference. I just can't feel a difference. It may
Because the latency difference doesn't come with DLSS. It comes with the fucking frame generation. Like, holy shit. My guy. Like,
maybe it's my monitors. I have some good monitors and I didn't buy a $5,000 computer and then cheap out on my monitor. Maybe
that
that's the
doesn't
case.
matter with the
No idea.
GPU latency.
Or maybe you're playing on a TV and
It's
you
different
forgot
latency.
to enable game mode, which does make a huge difference. AI has been out for many years. We're talking like 20 years at this point. Like, look, all the Google Chrome extensions you have, those are all AI. That's all AI. Okay. Every single one of them to ever be released in the history of extensions released are artificial intelligence. I'm not saying that AI hasn't improved, but if people are going to
Not
complain about
really, but I
DLSS,
guess
listen,
okay.
the Tesla versus Lamborghini is a perfect example of this.
No,
I'm
it's
not
not.
saying it's like a one-to-one, whatever, a one-to-one thing. But what I'm saying is Tesla, it is all electric. It is the AI of cars. And then you have the Lamborghini twin turbo Lamborghini Huracan. That's just pure raw like driving experience. They don't offer the same thing. But when speed comes into play, speed is like what we're talking about here. How fast is an RTX 5090? If it delivers that speed, like
Oh yeah,
why
yeah, yeah. The 5090 will be more powerful than 4090, surprisingly. But the thing is, it isn't about like you are basically like using the wrong fucking comparison. Because the Lamborghini is going to have the turbo lag, which is basically the frame gen. And the Tesla is going to have the instant power, which is basically the fucking graphics card without the frame gen. Like, holy
do
fuck.
people care? You can just go buy a 4090 for $500 after the 5070 releases. So man, I got way
No,
off
you
topic.
won't be able to
That was
do that.
literally the first thing. So limited VRAM. The reason I have this here is because I don't want to complain about something like this before we actually have it in our hands. You have to keep in mind that this is coming with GDDR7. This is not GDDR6, so it is going to be different than how GDDR6, just like DDR5,
It's only
performs
faster.
differently than DDR4,
That's
or
the difference.
Gen 4 NVMe performs different than a Gen 5 NVMe or a
Yeah, because they are faster. That's the main difference. What the fuck? Like the 12 gigabytes of the new GDDR RAM is going to like just be faster. It's not going to do a fucking magic trick to use less VRAM. It's going to use the same amount of VRAM, it's just going to be faster. There's no fucking magic. That's not how any of this works. If you have a 4090 and the game is using, let's say, 10 gigabytes of VRAM, it's going to use 10 gigabytes of VRAM on 5090. It's just like, what the fuck, my guy? Hey, yo.
Gen 3 NVMe, Gen 2 NVMe, etc. Or a GTX graphics card versus an RTX graphics card. They're not the same thing. So, like, I'm not going to complain about that. I do think
The
that
basic way those things work is the same. It's just newer, faster technology. It's like it's still the same. It's more or less the same. What the fuck? The GTX cards are the same as RTX cards. They just don't have the fucking ray tracing cores. And like they have less cores overall, less memory, and stuff like that most of the time. But like the basic working function is the same.
That 12 gigabytes of VRAM is gonna be kind of lackluster, but listen, man, 50 series, what is it totally being aimed at? What is the entire point of the 50 series, and what like was talked about 90% of the time at CES? Artificial intelligence. Do you not think that AI is going to play a role with how much RAM is in these graphics cards?
What the fuck? Are you saying you can save RAM with AI? You know? Like, it can somehow, like, magically, I don't know, fucking compress the, like, file size that goes into your GPU or something?
Again, not saying that I agree with it, not saying that I would just love to have a lackluster amount of RAM in my 5070. I'm not
Okay.
saying that. I'm just pointing out a fact, okay?
It's not a
So,
fact, it's your
pricing
fucking
concerns.
opinion
Well, the
with,
RTX
like, zero
5070 is
proof.
priced at $550. Some people feel that the performance to price ratio doesn't justify an upgrade, especially considering the dependence on DLSS 4 for achieving higher frame rates. So,
Yeah,
I'm going to say
because it's frame
3
gen.
letters. AMD. There
Okay.
you go. That's the only reason that anybody would complain about a $550 graphics card that's going to perform like a 4090 engine.
It's not going to perform like a 4090, you fucking dipshit. It's only on the same performance chart because of the frame generation. Fake fucking frames. God damn.
Just real quick here, remember all the people that are going to say, "Oh, I can't believe he actually believes that it's going to perform like a 4090." Tesla versus Lamborghini. Keep this in mind. Okay?
That
So the
made no fucking
exclusive
sense.
features like DLSS 4 is exclusive to the
What the
RTX
fuck?
50 series, which is actually probably why so many people are kind of complaining about it, is because they're not going to have it. And then number
Sorry?
Oh,
I'm sorry,
there you
I
go.
have to
That's
go
the
back.
only reason that anybody would complain about a $550 graphics card that's going to perform like a 4090. And just real quick here, remember all the people that are going to say, "Oh, I can't believe he actually believes that it's going to perform like a 4090." Tesla versus Lamborghini. Keep this in mind, okay? So the exclusive features like DLSS 4 is exclusive to the RTX 50 series, which is actually probably why so many people are kind of complaining about it, is because they're not going to have it. And then number 5, this is where I actually have a problem. This is where all the bad
I'm fine
stuff
with my
people are
DLSS
talking
3.
about, I can agree with. So I'm kind of countering every single thing that I just said throughout this entire video. The marketing aspect of Nvidia is absolutely abysmal, terrible. It is an absolute joke. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Please save this. Save this. Say that it's bullshit that they are using frame generation numbers. Okay? Please say that. Say it's bullshit that they use frame gen as the official numbers for the GPU's performance.
Okay? But at the same time, so is AMD's, so is Intel's, so is Sony's, so is literally every tech company out there that ever like releases some sort of advertisement and or event. You know that I'm right just as well as I know I'm right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm right about everything.
Yeah, everybody like
smart,
of course
like
releases like numbers that look best for them.
Jokes aside and sarcasm aside, I do agree with everybody that gets frustrated when we see shit like this that is clearly just all it is pulling the same benchmark as your favorite creators, giving you 1080p benchmarks. And listen to me, they're not doing that because it shows you such a big difference. Do you know what affiliate marketing is? Do you think these people reviewing the CPUs and reviewing your GPUs and motherboards and whatever they're reviewing, you think they're just like making that goddamn video for no reason? It is.
Holy shit. Okay, so first of all, Nvidia is using 1080p because it shows literally the biggest difference. you know. Uh, and the thing is, with like benchmarking, 1080p is usually used because you can see the huge frame gap as long as the CPU isn't the bottleneck. And I feel most of the benchmarks, at least from the channels that I watch, also include 1440p and 4K. Just saying. Maybe you should like switch the tech channels you watch. Like goddamn.
It is a sale to you. It is they're trying to sell something to you. It is called affiliate marketing. If they can show you how your
Yeah, I kinda agree with
14900K
that.
or 285K or 9950X or 9800X 3D is literally 500 FPS more than the previous generation, what are you going to do when you see that the new CPU is 500 FPS more than your CPU? What are you doing? What do you do? Oh, hey, shit, my CPU kind of sucks now. I need a new one. Let me click the link in this video. Boom. What do you think is happening as soon as you click the person's link that you just clicked? They're making money from you, boss. And
Yeah,
look,
if you
I
buy
do
the
affiliate
product, then
marketing.
yeah, they
That's
get a
how
cut.
I operate my PC business and not charge anything for the PCs that I'm building for people. But and so the affiliate marketing, they don't make anything like, or you don't pay anything for what they make. Okay. But the difference is I build computers for people. I literally build
Holy
them for
shit.
people. And then I make videos on the PC that I just built for you to build. Okay.
You fucking
So
build
there's a big
PCs?
difference between me trying to sell you some shit and just making a helpful, useful video to build a computer. There's a big difference between that and me reviewing the parts in the goddamn computer and comparing them to your old CPU to make you want to buy the new CPU that is 500 FPS more. Okay? There's a reason people do benchmarks like that. There's a reason that Nvidia is.
Yeah, because CPU benchmarks are done in 1080p, so the CPU will be the bottleneck, and not the GPU. You gotta understand that. Especially if you build fucking PCs for like your living and shit. Like what the fuck? How the fuck are you missing basic information like this? Like if you're truly like own some like tech company, I wanna know.
Is literally doing this. There's a reason that Jensen, dude, there is a reason that they did this. There is a reason that these benchmarks where you have DLSS and not the actual benchmarks, okay? There's a reason that
Yeah.
this was done. And it is because the 50 series is releasing. They want to sell as many of them as they possibly can.
Oh no
okay?
shit.
So when people see this, oh shit, my 4090 is literally half as crap. Like my 4090 is literally irrelevant now. You're gonna go buy it, right? Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
no.
You know I'm right now. That is
No.
the exact same thing as your favorite YouTuber reviewing the.
Holy fuck. Okay, so guys, I'm sorry. If any of you are on 3000 series, 2000 series, or God forbid 10,000 series cards from Nvidia, uh, everything you own is shit now. There's no value. It's literally unusable. Get rid of it right now. Throw it in the bin. Because fucking Dando's game said so. Yeah. Like, holy hell. Oh, and yeah, I have to throw away my 4000 series card as well. Because holy shit, the 5000 series coming out. With 3 times frame gen that they used to get those fucking numbers. Wow.
9800X 3D, which is a terrible example because that actually is a really good freaking CPU.
Yeah,
but
it is.
You get my point, okay? And I'm not disagreeing with that. You do get more accurate benchmarks and the more accurate percentage, but you ever wonder where the 1440p benchmarks are? You ever wonder where the 4K benchmarks are? Like, where are they? They don't even exist. It's only 1080p.
They
which
literally do.
I have a problem with.
Maybe
This is
swap the
terrible
channels you're
marketing.
watching, bro.
We need to see,
What the
okay,
fuck?
4090 is an absolute turd bucket now. 50%.
It's
The
not.
5090 is going to perform twice as good as a 4090. But where's the
God.
actual benchmarks without this artificial intelligence? That I do have a problem with.
Oh, hell
that
yeah.
I can see an
I can
actual
agree with.
complaint from people.
Holy shit.
But I just don't understand how people can go about, like, I don't understand it, man. Like, where, like, people are complaining about DLSS. They're not complaining about the marketing.
They are complaining about the frame gen, my man. I don't understand how you don't understand this, you know? It's basic. It's so fucking basic. They complain about the frame gen. How didn't you get it? It's nothing to do with the performance. It's the or DLSS. It's the frame gen.
Video, or well, they are, but in all fairness, people complain about quite literally anything Nvidia does. Period. For some reason, which might be the reason that a small channel like mine is doing as well as it is, because I'm not doing the same thing as everybody else. Gee, I actually just had
Maybe you fucking should. If this is doing your own thing, maybe you should do the same thing everybody else does. Because holy shit, this is fucking awful. This is bad. And I'm not saying like I'm a fucking good content creator. I'm a fucking catboy on the internet. Yahoo! But like, holy hell, like the amount of misinformation you are pushing is absolutely insane.
An awakening there for a moment. But either way, man. Oh, and to everybody that asked me the other day about this hoodie, I got this when I took my mom on a cruise for vacation. So I don't. The brand is. I don't know. I can't see. Kufandi is what it is. If you, it might be on it. Is
It
on
actually
Amazon?
looks good. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna look it up for you. Hold up. It might be on Amazon.
Yeah, solid hoodie, my guy.
Yeah, so they have
That's actually
on Amazon.
I'm actually I like the hoodie. Not gonna lie.
Show you.
The only fucking thing I liked in this video.
So
video.
it's probably on Amazon if you guys want to look it up. It's what it's called, Kufandi hoodie.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.